Ah yes, the good old Texas Penal Code of 3802. One that clearly states that you only have to identify yourself to the police in Texas if you've been lawfully arrested and they've made demands for it. A penal code that pretty much every single cop in Texas follows to a T.
I need you to give me your name and date of birth.
I'll give you my first name, Ian. Ian.
No, you're going to give me your name and your last name and date of birth, or you're going to go to jail for failure to identify.
I hope you all realized I was being sarcastic that time, because almost no cop in Texas follows that to a T. And Daniel Wilson, the main perpetrator behind this unlawful arrest, is most certainly one of those cops, with the victim being the main man behind Wichita audits. On February 4th, 2025, this guy decided to conduct a First Amendment audit at this local post office in Wichita Falls, Texas. A post office that just so happens to be connected to a courthouse. And in spite of him being silent and respectful the entire time, how much nonsense does he have to deal with when it comes to the Karens before this tyrant cop that eventually unlawfully arrests him? And what kind of a follow-up has he done to this situation? All those questions will be answered throughout this video, but before we start, in order to help us in the algorithm, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below and that subscribe button, and leave us a comment on what you think about this and what laws could apply to this situation. All that out of the way, let's roll the tape.
We got our questions answered. We're just gonna see how the workers deal with customers and how they would use the taxpayer, their hourly wage. How would they use that? Would it be towards disrespect to the customers? Would it be towards slacking off and just going to the back room and smoking or something?
So what can I help you with, sir?
Nothing.
Register.
What's that?
What can I help you with?
Oh, sure.
Hello, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm just here to record you guys during your duties.
You cannot do that, not when we're doing passports, because when we're doing passports, we're dealing with sensitive information.
Oh, I can.
No, you cannot.
I can. The way that it works is, can I explain to you why I can?
No, sir.
Without you calling the cops? So the way that it works is that we have a First Amendment right to record you guys during y'all's duties, and even if that concludes, okay.
So we're not posting into the post office, and you can get out because we're on door.
It's a public building. I don't need to get out. How am I loitering? I'm doing constitutionally protected business, ma'am. I've been respectful this whole time. I haven't been interrupting y'all's duties, y'all's business. I've been very respectful, ma'am. And you haven't tried to talk to me, and you turned this from a 1 to a 10 by calling the cops.
Excuse me, sir.
Hi there.
Can you turn that off so we can speak, please?
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
I'm here just recording a public building, and I'm recording basically their duties, seeing how they treat public, the public, trying to see how they just treat them, and if they're being respectful.
Okay, did they give you permission to do that?
I don't need permission. It's a public building. The way that it works is that we have a First Amendment right to record in public buildings, and that, how they're public workers?
Okay.
You know how they're public, hang on. You know how they're public workers? And how I can find y'all's salary, y'all's name, y'all's number, anything if I just request it? It's the same thing with me recording y'all, and this is a public building. I don't need permission. It's a one-party system where only one person needs to agree in a public space to record someone.
Well, we're gonna have to ask you to leave because there's also the passport office. This is a federal building.
I don't need to leave.
And it's a federal courthouse.
It's a public building.
So
The
I'm
federal
gonna
courthouse
ask
is
you
up there.
you're gonna have to leave the building.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Am I being trespassed?
The police will be called
But I hope you know-
because this is disrupting our services.
I've been quiet this whole time. I hope you know. I haven't recorded. I've been quiet this whole
Okay,
time.
but I'm not giving you permission to do that.
I don't need permission. It's a public building.
Okay, then I'm going to contact the police,
Ma'am, I hope
and
you know
then
the
they
court-
can discuss this with you
Ma'am,
further.
Can I talk to
okay?
you? That the court rules count up there, not down here. This is a
This
post
is
office.
a federal building.
A federal building
So
is public.
unfortunately,
A
that
federal-
is a different situation. So have the U.S. Marshals here. So I will go ahead and I will
Right.
contact the law enforcement agencies, as well as myself, to inform
Well,
that
you're already
we
here.
need you to leave.
You're already here. You don't need to be contacted.
I am a law enforcement officer,
Okay, but that doesn't mean
and I'm
anything.
asking you to leave.
But this is a public building, ma'am.
Okay, that is fine. I'm going to contact law
ma'am, do you
enforcement
know what law I'm
because you
breaking?
are not
What law?
following the instructions
What
that I'm giving
instructions?
you.
There's no law that I'm not. What law am I breaking, ma'am? Since you're a police officer, what law am I breaking? You don't know, because this is my First Amendment right. And you know this, and you're calling the cops on me.
Now you're being disruptive.
I'm talking to you. I'm not being disruptive, ma'am.
It should really come as no surprise to you that these people would be against this man filming whatever he can see from public in spite of Poster 7, in spite of the First Amendment, in spite of many different court cases that support his right to do this. But by far the biggest thing that stands out to me is the fact that this lady right here falsely claimed that she was a police officer. Something that I am 99% sure that if Wichita Audits or any other regular person did the same thing, they would be cuffed and stuffed immediately. But no, she wants to impersonate a police officer to try and intimidate this kid. And when that doesn't work, it only gets worse with Daniel Wilson of the Wichita Falls PD, who apparently thinks that just because a cop asks you to give up your identification, you're obligated to do so.
How's it going?
Hey.
Got any ID on you?
No.
No? What's your name?
I don't need an ID.
You do.
Why?
Because they called me here to investigate that you're filming people and their sensitive information.
Can we lower it, please?
Lower what?
I'm saying I just want to talk calmly. Okay, so...
Am I talking not calmly?
I'm just saying, the only way that you need an ID is if you have a reasonable, articulable suspicion.
I believe that you're taking people's information because they're over here trying to get passports.
You can believe that, but you don't have proof of that.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
You don't need my ID.
I do need your ID. I need your ID, your date of birth, and your name.
What makes you need that?
Because you're over here collecting people's information on video of people getting passports and whatnot.
Who's saying that?
The people that work at the post office.
How can they prove that? How do you know I'm doing that? I haven't been doing that the whole time.
I need you to give me your ID.
First of all, I don't have
Or I need you to give me your name and date of birth.
I'll give you my first name, Ian.
No, you're going to give me your name and your last name and date of birth, or you're going to go to jail for failure to identify because I'm investigating a felony that has occurred.
How am I doing? What felony am I doing, sir?
You are collecting people's information up at the countertop that are getting passports.
It's no different than me just looking and having a piece of paper, sir.
That is different.
How?
Because that's people's sensitive
I
information.
can collect information on a piece of paper.
It doesn't matter. It's all on video right there.
How do you know?
Because they say that you're over here recording.
I can say that your body cam was doing the same thing.
It is doing the same thing.
So you're taking people's information? That's illegal.
Am I taking people's information over there next to the countertop?
Am I detained?
Yes, you are.
For what?
For the investigation of you collecting people's information on that.
I don't need to cooperate in your investigation.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You're going to go to jail for failure to identify if you don't identify yourself right now.
I don't need to identify, sir.
Excuse me?
I don't need to identify, sir.
Okay.
And to show you all that Wilson blatantly committed malicious prosecution, this is what was caught in the audio. Not only contradicting what he says in many different parts of his interaction with Wichita Audits, but also exposing what he planned to do in the first place.
You detained me for recording in a public space? Not you, sir. You just But you detained me for recording in a public space?
I don't know. I just got here.
But why were you called?
To investigate why you're here, I guess.
I'm in a public space, in a post office, correct?
Okay.
So why am I detained?
For acting suspicious.
Suspicious is a crime? Suspicious is a crime?
Listen.
When is suspicion been a crime?
No one said suspicion is
You
a
just
crime.
said. I asked what I did was suspicion. And why is suspicion? Suspicion is right to do.
Repeat back to me what I said.
I said, what did I do? Suspicion.
Nick,
What did you say?
he said, because you were acting suspicious.
So exactly, suspicious gives you the right to put me in handcuffs? No.
It gives us the right to investigate.
Investigators mean you can put me in handcuffs, and you know what happens? I don't need to cooperate in your investigation.
No, you don't.
So why am I in handcuffs?
To make sure you stay here.
But I don't need to cooperate, do I? So why am I in handcuffs? I need to cooperate, correct? So why if I walk away? I'm going to get thrown around because I'm not cooperating. So what is it?
No?
See, exactly, you see the contradiction, correct?
No.
You do. So okay, I can't. So I don't need to cooperate in the investigation. But you're putting me you're putting me in handcuffs in order to cooperate.
Whatever behavior you were conducting before I got in.
Ask me what I did then. Be professional. Ask me what I did.
Because how about you let him decide what's going to happen, and I stand here and watch you.
Correct.
How about that? How about that?
All I want to know, sir, is what I did.
I'm not going to talk to you about that.
Put my camera down. That's my property.
Well,
No, this is going to be evidence now. And you're going to jail for failure to identify, and I'm going to write up another report for fraudulent use or possession of identifying information. Wow.
Which we will search the phone for.
You can't search
to find.
Yeah,
with
we
the search
can.
warrant we can. To find.
Good luck getting
to
one.
find the evidence.
Oh my god!
To.
So you're gonna get a search warrant?
Yeah.
So you're gonna take
You're
off?
out there trying to grab people.
No, I have the right to stop the recording.
If you grab
didn't
my
grab
hand
you.
again, we're going to have a problem.
You know I didn't grab you on purpose, sir. You know I didn't grab you on purpose. Don't play that card. You know I was trying to stop the recording. So I didn't. Oh, I forgot. It uploads to the cloud. Yeah, you need to take me out of handcuffs. No, I see there's a button on the back right here. There's a button press it. You need to press it.
I don't know how it works.
Sorry, I just didn't know.
So when I walked in, I see him standing at one of the counters recording everything.
He can't do that.
I agree with you. So I wasn't even messed up about that to begin with. And then when I asked him what his name and date of birth is, and I try to get his identification, he doesn't have to because he's not being investigated for any crime.
No, you're a police officer. You automatically give that verbally information. So what's happening?
He's going to go to jail for failure to identify, and then I'm going to write a separate report up, turn in his watch and his phone, which he was recording on, and that will be a fraudulent use or possession of identifying information.
So as we hear in the audio compared to what we saw in the video, at first Wilson claimed that this guy was being investigated for gathering other people's information or something. Obviously we know that couldn't be further from the truth. But then as he's unlawfully kidnapping this kid, he says that the reason he's being put in cuffs is for being suspicious. That's funny, I don't remember being suspicious being a misdemeanor or a felony. Oh, speaking of felonies, one of the many ways in which Wilson committed malicious prosecution against this kid is by changing the charge 3 different times. First, it was a felony for collecting private information with harmful intent, and then he changed it to failure to identify, with the 3rd charge being changed to obstruction of justice, because apparently he claims that this kid stated that his name was Eli. We hear clearly on camera that he said Ian, not Eli.
Give me your name and date of birth.
I'll give you my first name, Ian.
After this unlawful arrest occurred and all these different charges were being placed on this kid, one being swapped out for the other, his parents were fighting tooth and nail to get his stuff back. All the way from late February to April 1st, they continuously refused to give back his equipment, claiming that it was evidence. Of what? But he eventually got his equipment back and of course posted the very next day, on April 2nd. And now, according to one of his many posts on his YouTube channel, they are in the process of suing the Wichita Falls PD for this unlawful arrest and malicious prosecution. And it states in this post that one of my personal demands is if they choose to settle, we are not planning on settling without our demands, and if they want to continue, we are ready to take this to litigation. The demands for me are that Officer Daniel Wilson is fired. Wonderful idea. The PD works with Wichita Audits to retrain and make sure every officer is taught the First Amendment rights. An even better idea. Wichita Audits will do annual accountability checks on WFPD, and if those demands aren't met, we aren't settling. Amen to that indeed. I tell you what, Wichita Audits, if you and your family keep this up, you could become a massive name in this community, just like Long Island Audit, On Your Oath, or James Freeman. Now, they did say in a later post that we are not pursuing legal action with the ACLU. We will be filing with an attorney. And the reason why is to speed up the case from 2 years to just 1 year, which I'd say is a very good thing to do. I don't know about the rest of you, but considering the Penal Code of 3802, this lawsuit would be stupid easy. I think even a rookie lawyer who's never taken on a civil rights case would be stupid not to take this one. But until something happens regarding the situation, contact information will be left down below not only to this post office, but also to the Wichita Falls Police Department for all of you to hold accountable, and maybe encourage them to fire Daniel Wilson. Of course, we encourage you to be as respectful as can be if you decide to redress your grievances, as that's what Wichita Audits wants as well. But just like the acronym of our channel says, please do let them all hear our roar. Now, even more importantly, we the people, make sure you go subscribe to Wichita Audits and give them all the love and support that you feel they deserve. Stay tuned for updates to this ongoing case, and let them know that recognizing our rights said hello. Not only that, we the people, but in the event that you have to deal with tyrant cops like Daniel Wilson, whether that be during a traffic stop or at your home front, just like what Wichita Audits is acquiring, what you need at your side at all times is an attorney, which is a dirty cop's kryptonite. A type of kryptonite that is extremely expensive, so how do you deal with that? Oh, it really doesn't take much. All you gotta do now is sign up for this one-of-a-kind app known as Attorney Shield, developed by Lackluster and Long Island Audit. This will allow you to have an attorney on speed dial, and it will allow you to record your interactions with nobody, not even dirty cops like Daniel Wilson, being able to stop you. We encourage you to check this out by taking a look at the links in the description, the pinned comment, or scanning the QR code on screen. And make sure to use our promo code of ROR1776 so you could get your first purchase 10% off. All that being said, we the people, thank you once again for tuning in. The only other thing we want from you would simply be this: never stop loving the good old Constitution.